Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of Employment Law and Compliance, Introduction to Discrimination Law, Race and National Origin. Last week we learned some key legal terms and covered some fundamental elements of employment law. This week we start looking at the many aspects of discrimination law. Think about your experience in the workplace. Have you ever witnessed or personally experienced a manager or coworker telling racist jokes? Have you ever overheard or witnessed a hiring manager state they would never hire an old person? Have you ever witnessed or personally experienced someone highly qualified being passed up for promotion when they are the only person with a disability? Hopefully you have not been exposed to these types of situations, but unfortunately, it's highly likely you have. The truth is, these things happen every day in the workplace, even today. As a result, Congress has felt the need to create a number of laws that protect individuals from discrimination in employment practices and discriminatory harassment. Before we get into any details, let me ask, do you know what type of workplace discrimination is prohibited by federal law? Chances are that you do, but knowing what is prohibited simply isn't enough, because often what drives our actions and behaviors are societal notions and biases we learned as children, which ultimately manifest themselves in the workplace. We will start this week by introducing one of the most important laws relating to employment, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Created as a result of the Civil Rights Movement, this is the first law established that prohibits discrimination in employment practices. Specifically, it forbids employers from adopting employment practices that result in discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. These categories are referred to as protected classes. We will then dig deeper into 3 of the protected classes covered under this law: race, color, and national origin. We will further define each and provide examples of how employers discriminate based on these classes and what can be done to avoid lawsuits. Now let's take a look at HR's role when it comes to workplace discrimination. HR must have a solid understanding of the various protected classes covered in federal and state laws, global laws if applicable as well. HR should develop and implement employment practices that are free of discrimination, including hiring, selection, promotions, benefit offerings, terminations, compensation, working conditions, job assignments, training, time off, use of company facilities, transfers, layoffs, and retaliation. HR must develop and implement policies that ensures the workplace is free from harassment. HR should train managers in the fundamentals of Title VII and ensure they understand their role in protecting the organization. HR should also provide training to all employees regarding their rights under Title VII. By the end of this week, you will be able to first explain the history leading up to the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Second, you'll identify work practices that may be discriminatory as stated in Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Third, you will create solutions to be legally compliant with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Fourth, you will explain how a Title VII claim is filed and proceeds through the administrative process. Fifth, you will distinguish ways that management can comply with Title VII. Sixth, you will compare and contrast the various types of alternative dispute resolutions used by the EEOC. Seventh, you'll evaluate ways that race, color, and national origin discrimination are manifested in the workplace. Eighth, you'll develop solutions an employer can use to avoid liability for race, color, and national origin discrimination. Ninth, you'll explain the legal status surrounding English-only policies in the workplace. 10th, you'll identify the differences between citizenship and national origin. 11th, you will apply protection elements under the Immigration Reform and Control Act to workplace situations. Finally, you'll summarize human resources' role in ensuring compliance with Title VII, including race, color, and national origin discrimination. Your activities for this week will include a graded discussion post with 2 peer responses for online classes, or a graded participation for hybrid or on-ground classes. Also, there'll be 2 graded role-playing exercises, a graded reflection paper, and finally, 10 graded knowledge checks. All right, let the learning begin.